Good afternoon. Thank you for joining one of our another webinars. This time we will be focusing on communication. Now I know that all of you are communicating with your staff members from OnSinch, I think, on daily basis. So the goal now here in this webinar is to kind of provide you like a presentation of all of the features we have, as maybe you have some new administrators joining your team, or maybe you were not really using all of the features that much, and maybe you are thinking about it, to kind of take a look at this topic as an overall one topic. So first, I will share with you our plan. Just for you to know what is ahead of us today. So first, we'll take a look at the means of communication, meaning what features we have in the system. Then we will take a look at the ways from which pages you can use these features. Then I will share with you quite a recent improvement in this area, which is message templates. We will also take a look at some automatic notifications, which is also a communication way. We will take a look at how the communication looks in staff member account, and we will also touch a bit the topic of client communication, and I will show you some of the related settings that you might want to review that is related to this topic. So let's get started. As usual, I will share with you our system. So first, let's take a look at all of the options you have. Let's go here in the menu in the communication tab. And first, I have to mention it, are the emails. As you know, that you can send an email from the system to the one person, to the whole database, to selected group. The emails are sent from no-reply@sinch email address to make sure that they are all delivered. But in the agency settings, you can change how the sender looks as a name, and you can also change here the emails where the replies goes. So if you send an email to your staff member from OnSinch, if they hit the button reply, there will be filled email that you set in the agency settings. So that's for the email basics. Also, the emails I can mention are sent in a queue, in a mean that they are waiting a bit to be sent in one batch. So there might be a slight delay once in between the moment you hit the button send and in the moment when the staff member will receive it in the mailbox. So there might be a slight delay. All the emails you ever sent are stored here in this send emails section, where you can see all the emails that were ever sent to any user from the system, emails that were sent manually, that were also sent automatically as form of notification. So if you want to find something, you can easily filter by staff member or the date or the subject, as the automatic notifications have unified subjects, so you can filter based on that. So emails, of course, are old but gold, so they are used mostly for communicating across the database and make sure that everyone receives them, as nobody can register to your system without filling the email and confirming it via activation code. So it's the best mean when you want to really make sure that the message is delivered. A second way of communication is push notifications. The push notification is an instant message that is sent to the device of the staff member when the person is connected on the internet. And the difference here between the emails is that staff member have to subscribe to receive the push notifications. So for you to be able to communicate with them using this feature, it requires their action to subscribe for it. Similarly, as you install some application, it's asking you have option to decline. Here they have to subscribe. Let's take a look at how it looks. I will now switch to myself as a staff member. So when your staff members registers as a new, or when you start using this feature, they will see the push notification alert asking them to allow the receive to push notifications right on their dashboard. So simply they can just click on allow and they are subscribed. And from now to this staff member, to my device, I just subscribed. You can send me the message. What can happen is that, for example, people like close this window accidentally or on purpose, and then they don't know how to subscribe to the notifications. They can always go on the top right corner and visit their profile and hear the notification settings, where they can allow the push notifications, and they can also send themselves a test message to make sure that they are really subscribed and everything is working. As I mentioned, the subscription is related to the device. So for example, if the staff member buys a new phone, they have to subscribe again. Or if they really reboot their device for the factory settings, they might want to do it again. So it's tied to the device. That's an important thing. One of the things that can appear as kind of issues is that, for example, Apple users, to be able to subscribe and for you to be able to communicate with them using this feature, they have to use OnSinch on Safari only, because that's the default browser of iPhones. So they can't use Google Chrome and subscribe to push notifications, only Safari. And then there are also some limits related to the version of the system. So they can't use really old version. But the system always tells them what's the issue. So eventually they are able to subscribe. We also published article in our knowledge base with screenshots that can help your staff members and you to kind of troubleshoot the issues they might have, because the push notifications can be blocked or not really successful in subscribing if in the device of the staff member is some addition or some blocker, or if it's in the settings by default off. So there can be more things related to that regarding the device. So for that, we created a guide, and you can edit. I recommend to edit into your CMS. For example, here I can show you our sample that we created, screenshots with a guide, what to do and where to click. And we are also describing here some of the most common issues that can happen. So in the end, everyone is subscribed. So that's how it works from the staff member point of view. If we go back now to the administrator. So now I subscribed, and how can you see and how can you send me the message? If I find myself as a staff member here as the administrator, here a bell in the profile is indicating that I'm subscribed. And especially in the beginning, when you start using the feature, since this requires action of the staff members, you might be struggling with getting them all subscribed. We cannot really force them or to do it on their behalf, but you can easily, here in the staff list, filter, we have here, I think it's somewhere in the middle. Here it's a filter that you can see. You can filter only people who have not subscribed yet to push notifications. So let's filter. I have here 4 people. And you can send a bulk email to the staff members to saying, hello, please subscribe. So you can repeatedly send them this email. So eventually everyone is subscribed to this communication channel. If we go here in the left to communication and push notifications, here you will see, similarly as with the emails, all of the messages that were ever sent. You can here also on the right side compose a message, or next to it you can see all the devices that people are using and staff members, and check also this. The push notification is meant to be short, quick, instant message. that goes on the device. So as you know, if you receive notification from some application, it means to be short. If you want to share little like long text or some big announcement, email is better for that. So for example, the push notifications you can use when you publish new shifts for the upcoming months. You can just send the push message to staff members saying, hello, please, we have new shifts, check them in OnSinch and apply. When the staff member receives your manual push notification message, and when they click on the box on their phone, they will be redirected to their account. So it's meant to be kind of a short, quick message. Since we are here, I have to mention also other feature, and that is SMS Gateway, which is a premium feature, is not part of all of the OnSinch licenses, and it's integration with third-party provider providing the SMS Gateway services. But basically, with this feature active, you can send a message from OnSinch to the phone numbers of the staff members. So as opposed to push notification, it's tied to the number, and the push is tied to the device and account. And depending also on the gateway settings, you can also send messages, and you can also receive replies to them that will appear here in this section. I can also mention, maybe if you are thinking about the SMS gateway, that with this feature, you can also verify phone number of the staff member to make sure when they register that they really filled their number and it's really valid and reachable phone. So these basic means of communication are meant to be outside from the system. And now let's take a look at in-app communication. First, let's take a look at this feature that's called News. So News is only in-app, so there's no notification going out that there is a news. So it's an in-app article that you publish to accounts of the staff members. So let's create some article here on the top right corner. We are now adding the news, and you can see that again I'm publishing this news to all my database. Of course, I can filter a certain group. And for which purposes you can use this, it's usually meant to be when you want to share some important company changes. For example, when we have new office address. So you can here write a message, new address. You can also plan the news to be published in the future. That's handy when, for example, you know that next month you will have a new coordinator and you have now time to kind of create a message. So you can schedule it for the future and it will appear on the day you plan it. And what is the biggest power of this is that you can set this message to be force readable. So let's say I want this to be force readable. And if we save it, now we created a new article that's called new office address that went to all of the current database. So if a staff member now log in to the account, so let's now switch from administrator to staff member. The news is this kind of pop-up window that appears on them when they log in. And since I set it force readable, I cannot do anything. I cannot apply for shifts. I cannot change my profile. I have to say, yes, I read this information and I confirm it. If we go back to the administrator, and again, everything is happening here in the left in the communication part. And this line, this is my news, and I can see if I here click on view, this is the message. On the right side, I can see recipients, and now you can see that I send it to this many staff members, and only this one, the system support, which is me, have seen it and when, and that agreed and when, so that you can easily track that people really see it and they really click on it and they acknowledge the information that was shared with them. It's also used, for example, when you want to, let's say, for example, you created a new handbook or you have updated your company standards or something. So you can do it in a way that, for example, in the CMS, you upload the new file, but people, if they are checking regularly the news in the CMS, they will notice. But sometimes they will note. So you can combine it. For example, if I switch now back to the staff member, and let's say, for example, I publish a new menu or new page in the CMS, let's say this handbook. So you can copy the URL. You cannot see it now because I'm presenting without the URL line, but basically you just copy the link of this CMS page. And if you go back to the administrator, and again, let's say we are creating the new news. You can say new handbook. Here you can write the text. And you can here include the link. So you point the staff members directly to the CMS. So you don't have to write, please read the handbook in CMS. You will ease the work and at the URL. And if I now log back, it will again pop up, and I can be redirected to this page. And the redirection for the CMS, the links, you can use also in the snippets or in the text or in the description, so you can reference the links also in other communication. So the news is good to use when you want to share with staff members some information in app. You want to have record about how many people read it or confirm they received this information. But it's not urgent that you don't necessarily need them to know now because it's only in app and you don't know when the people will be logging in. Also, one thing in the news I want to mention is that when you are publishing it, for example, here again, if you go back to the news, for all users, it means that for all users that are now in the system. So if I published the article and let's say I have 50 people in my database, if tomorrow somebody new register, this person will not see this article. It's only targeted for the staff members that now you are publishing it to them. So this is the in-app news. And now let's take a look at from where you can use these functions. So let's say you want to communicate just with the one person. So the easiest way is to either you can go in the menu here and send new email, new push notification, or new news. Or you can visit the profile of the staff member. And here you have a tab of communication where you can see all the types of communication that were sent to this particular staff member. And here under send button, you can decide which way of communicating you want to use. This is with one person. Also, if you hover onto the name across the system, so for example, if we go now to staff list, I have here some people, and if I, let's say, hover onto the name, you have here a shortcut button to send an email, so you don't have to visit the profile. Then sometimes you want to communicate with your whole database. That you can do easily from a staff list. So here in the bottom, you have all the described ways of communication I mentioned. So you can click on email, push, or news. Here I can maybe mention to all. If you select to all, it means everyone who is now here listed. And if you tick some of the people, you can choose to selected. So either to all or to selected. This bulk across database communication can be handy when you, for example, have new shifts before the seasons. You want to remind all of your database to kind of update the profiles or do something, and basically company-wide communication. But sometimes you want to also target more, and for that you can use these filters. So this staff filter, it's not only meant to be kind of searching for available staff members, but you can combine them and you can combine more to target the audience of your message. As an example, I can mention, for example, profession. So let's say we created a new attribute in the profile for hostesses. It's mandatory for them, for example, hair color, and it's mandatory, but the hostesses, without logging into the system, they don't know that they should fill something, and maybe you need to know it soon. So you can filter just the hostesses, and you can see that I have here now 3 people, and you can communicate just with this group. Another good targeted way of communication is when you want to manage your database in a way that you want to have it really clean and updated. So you can use and communicate with this filter. For example, there's an option to say to show people who never attended a shift. And you can combine it with the filter last login, for example. So you can then filter people who their last login was, for example, in the end of last year, and at the same time, they never attended a shift. So most likely these people are not really active, so you can filter just these. You can maybe send them a final email to ask them if they want to cooperate, and then you can delete them from the database to have it clean and updated. And what other can you use to narrow down your search for communication is this section meeting requirements. Because even if it's requirement that you, I guess, know that you are using it for the shift assignment, you can use it as a filter for communication. So let's say, for example, I want to filter only drivers with the badge driver. If, for example, from January, something has changed and people have to provide me that they have clean driving license, I can filter the drivers and again communicate just with them, or basically anything in the profile. And of course, you can combine it to get the best results. So this is how we can filter and target a smaller group. And another way how you can communicate is the event-wise. So if you want to communicate with selected group of staff members who are attending certain job, you can easily do it from the job view. So let's go and open some of our example job. So let's say here, for example, we have job. You can see that part of it are free shifts. And on this page, you can see send button 3 times or more times, but on 3 levels. And you can communicate from the level of position right up to the level of the whole order. So for instance, now if I would like to communicate just with the leader of this shift, I can here click on send and send the message. If I want to communicate with the shift, so with the whole load-in, I can go a little bit up and use the send button from here. And if I want to communicate with all of the people attending this job, I can go on the top from here, from send. So it always depends which group you want to target. And let's say from this job, let's click on message. So this is our new message window. You notice that it's different than the others. Eventually, all of the forms will be nice like this. Here you can choose which channel you want to use. Email is by default. You can switch to SMS if you have it active, or the push notifications. Here you can see, for example, the note that some of the recipients are not available for this mean, for push notification. And this means that this one staff member has not subscribed to the push notification that I was mentioning is important when you want to use it to all the staff members to subscribe, because otherwise they will not receive this message. So it depends which means it's best for you at the moment. So basically, you can send the message from here. If the staff members are at this job more times, so for instance, I have the same people doing load in and load out, but if you send a message from the job level, the duplicates are removed. So you don't have to worry that the people will receive the message 10 times because they are on 10 shifts. They will receive it just once. And to mention also here on the top right corner, if we go to show order, there's also send button, because you can see here that my order has 2 jobs, and you can communicate. If we send a message, you can see that there is a new person. You can communicate with the whole order. For example, if there is a festival and you want to share some important information before with all of the people, you can use this function. Then you can also combine the way I was showing before in a staff list, meaning that you want to have some group that meets some requirements, and also the group that is attending some event. For this, we have a shortcut here on the top right, a little bit top right. You can click on button staff and list. And this will lead us to the staff list, pre-filtered to show only staff members who are attending this order. Of course, you can input this manually, but you just have to know the name of the job or the name of the shift. So this button from the order is a nice like shortcut. So now I have here people who are attending this order, and I can add more filters. So for example, if I have a driver emergency and I need to know who is the driver on this order. So you have here pre-filtered the people attending this order, and you can add another requirement to the filter and communicate just with this group. So since we touched this topic of communication from event level, we have quite a new recent addition to our features in this area, and that's a confirmation request. So if we go back to the shift, so for example, I want to communicate with this load-in shift. You can also send a message that is just message that is sent. But sometimes you want to send a message and you want the staff members to confirm they receive it and they agree with it, or they just acknowledge the information. And for that, we have the feature confirmation request. So the window looks the same. And this feature is a combination of being notified outside the app. So for example, I will send the email, but then the staff member has to log in to the OnSinch and confirm that they know that they read this information. So I can write here the message. Confirm on the new date. This is handy, for example, when you change a date of the shift, the staff members are notified about the change. But some of the changes are that huge that it can affect their ability to even work. So you might want to kind of reconfirmation from their side if it's a big change. Or for example, when you have a big event that is really like big and important, you can remind them again, like, please make sure that you read the description. Or for instance, when the crew boss was replaced last minute, you can maybe send them the message so they know that there's somebody else. So for these purposes and many others, you can use the confirmation request. So if I now send it, we send the confirmation request, and you can see new icons of the message because everything is locked. So again, as with all our icons, the orange means that is unconfirmed, and the green means it's confirmed. So you can easily track who already saw the message and say, yes, I read it, so you are okay, or who not. So I now sent the message. I was notified by the email. And if I now log in as a staff member, yeah, this is how it looks. So the staff member will see that there is a message to confirm. They can open the shift detail. And this is my content of the message. So please confirm the new date, and they can click on confirm. They should click on confirm. And if I log in now back as an administrator and check my job, you can see that the icon is now green. So, and you have here exact information when I confirm it and when it was sent. The icons you will see here on this job page. You will also see them if you go here on the top onto the attendance builder. You will also see the envelopes. In the attendance overview, in the profile of the staff member, and what I recommend the most if you'll be using this feature is to add on the dashboard a dedicated widget for that. That's called pending confirmation requests. So you easily see how many messages you have pending if you want to maybe chase the staff members. The widget you can add here on the top by clicking on that widget. And you can also, as most of the widgets, we always recommend to use these 3 dots in the end of the line and filter. So for example, you can pre-filter only the shifts where you are a supervisor. So you see only the messages that are related to your job. So this is one of our latest addition to this topic. And also one more thing that's quite new is option to set the message templates, because we know that some of the messages are repeating and you have to type them again or copy from somewhere else. So for that, we implemented a new improvement, and that's option to create templates. For that, let's go to settings. And this feature is available under notifications and message templates. So here you can create your most used templates for the messages, so you don't have to type them always. And it also helps you to have consistent style of communication across the administrators. So let's go here on the top right and add our new template. So let's say high security venue. For example, if I know that there will be IDs check on the arrival, I can send them the message. That's always the same. You always choose the channel you will be using. So you need to separate if this message will be used for email or push notification. So you can set copies, make sure you have your IDs ready, for example. And like this, you can create a template. And if I now go back to my job, and again, I want to communicate, so I will go here from send, and either if I want them to confirm, yes, I have the IDs, or I can just send a regular message, that depends on me. And here you have the blue line that you can apply a template. And the text will be pre-filled by the message, and you can maybe add just some other text that is relevant only to this shift, and send the message to the staff members. So this is our latest addition. We are planning also to add some improvement in this area. It's mainly in a way to be able to use the placeholders, the placeholders from contracts or CMS. So we plan also to add improvement in this feature, so it can include automatically name of the shift or some other data that are related to event. So that's definitely in our plan. So this was for the communication that is active. You are taking the action. And now let's move on to the second topic, and that is automatic notifications. Because even they are automatic, it's communication. So let's go again to the settings, and this time notifications and notification settings. First, I would like to stress out that this part in the settings is your global settings across the system. So here you are affecting all of your users. So if you want to change setting notifications only for you as like you administrator, go on the top right corner, your profile picture and your name, And here you have button for notification settings, that it's personal, that it's only for you. So just when changing the notifications, just think about if you are changing it for everyone or just you, because this is the global one. So we are now focused on the staff member. So let's go to the staff member tab. So with some of the new features, there's a new notification edit. So we recommend also to check regularly or from time to time if your notifications are still as you need them. And since they're automatic, it can help you to communicate. I have like the communication like flow clear. So first email the staff members receive is this welcome email. And I know that you have it also, you have of course set from the beginning, but we recommend to maybe check it, for example, before you have a big recruitment campaign. You can go here and edit the email. So you can check if all of the data is really relevant, or maybe if something changed. You can change it from here, because this is the first email staff members received, so it's very powerful. Also, I wanted to mention, if you have OnSinch in more language versions, don't forget to, for example, I have English, so this is the English email, but I have also Spanish. So just make sure that if you are doing changes, you are doing it to the both or all language versions you have. Once the staff member registered, they receive this welcome email. Further action, depending on your process, can be related to these notifications from profile, as you are maybe approving the profile, approving the picture. And again, it can help you to communicate less individually if you change the content of the notification so it really fits your need. So for example, if you have the workflow that when you approve staff member, then you send them the contract, you can include in the email that is this one, your profile has been approved. You can here edit the content. So you can maybe here write, for example, you are now approved, wait for the contract, then you will be able to sign up for shifts. And even though it's not manual communication, it can help you to get the information transfer nicely. Another thing I wanted to mention in this part are these buttons that sometimes get confused. One it's save, and one it's a save and rewrite. If you use the button save and rewrite, just be careful if you really want to do it, because when you set some notifications as optional, for example, this one, as you can decide if the notifications are on, off, or optional with some default value. If somebody already changed in their personal profile the notifications as they want, and you click on rewrite, you are rewriting all of the things they changed. So you are like on the level 0. Everyone, after I click this button, would have this setting of notifications. So sometimes you want to just save it and not rewrite it for all other staff members. So this is also from the notifications. You can see that we have emails for most of the notifications. Gradually, we are adding the push notifications. Currently, they are available for all of the most important information. And we have also here a column that is interactive notification. If I now go back to the staff member profile, the interactive notification are attendance-related changes, and they are reflected in the staff member profile under this bell icon. Yeah, so somebody prefers maybe to not be notified by attendance change by email, and they are used to regularly check OnSinch. So the staff member can turn it off, and they just see the notifications here. And also, as I was showing to you, your communication part where you can find everything, the staff members also have communication section in their menu. Here on the left part, if you go to communication, here is stored everything apart from emails and SMS, so they can get back to it. So for example, the news, they can always get back to it, what I agree with, what I read, so they can always access it here. They always have here in these interactive ones, and also the push notifications. So it's all stored also for the staff member point of view. So this was the staff member part. I also mentioned that we will touch a bit the client communication topic. So let's again go to our sample job, and maybe let's go to the order. So client communication mostly is related to the first point, and that is sending the documents. That also we added a couple of months ago, I think. So you can generate the document from order level, job level, or shift level, and send it to the client from OnSinch. So for instance, if I want to send calculation, you can here decide if you want to generate the PDF, download it, and send it by your personal email, or you can just click on send and send the document from the system. The recipient is already pre-filled based on the company settings. You can add here manually some person in CC, or you can choose from the other company members that are set in the settings. And this is a preview of the email. You can edit this email in notification settings in client part, and then you can just send this document. And another advantage of sending it from here is that you have it stored. You can see under the order items is a order communication, where you can see what was sent, to who, when, and if you click on the view actions, you can also see who sent it. So it's very clear when it was sent, in which status. All this order communication can be also found again in the big communication menu under emails and order communication, where you have again filter, and here you can see all the price quote and calculation that were sent from the order level. As for the client communication, you can also communicate with the client. So if we, for example, let's go here to the client overview. I have here a couple of clients. So if we open the profile, here you can click on the email, and you can send the email message from here. Or if you have the SMS gateway active, you can click on the number and send the SMS. And another client type communication is that if you let your clients in the OnSinch to place an orders, they can be notified that you approved their order, or that you rejected the order they placed, or if you are using the invoices and reminders, they can be also notified by overdue invoices. All of that you can also find in the settings in the client tab, where you can also edit some of the emails and notifications. So the client information is communication is not that broad as with the staff members, but it's mainly about the sharing the documents and some basic information. Last note I wanted to add is that you might want to ask about communication between admins. We don't really have feature for communicating between administrators, but I think our feature to do can count as kind of a communication. If we go back to let's say our sample job, here you can create a to-do. To-do is kind of a task that you can assign to either you, as like don't forget to do something, or you can assign it to some of your colleagues, depending how your team have distributed the responsibilities. So I can choose assignee. I can choose assignee and add the to-do description. You can set the deadline until which it should be done. And you can also set the notification. So the administrator will receive an email that is saying, hey, you have pending to do something. And here you can see that I created the to-do. And the administrator who I assign it to, they will see it on the top right corner as like their pending to-dos. So it's not really a message that you send like you are used to, but it's a communication tool or how you can share the information across the admins in app. And one thing also that serves as a information sharing place is this comment section, which is available in shifts, jobs, orders, or staff members. There is no notification for that, but if you want to just record something that is related to this shift, you can write here a message and add the comment, and it will be accessible to all of the admins. So it's clearly visible who edit and when, and you can reply to it and upload some attachments if needed. So that was one thing, and I thought that it's kind of communication between admins. Now we are getting into the end, so I just want to summarize the settings. You might want to check, maybe you have some ideas how to use some of the functions I was mentioning. So first, I recommend to check notification settings regularly and check our new feature for message templates. As I was mentioning, we will be improving this area, so you can expect something more. Then I recommend in the agency, in the theme, where you can change your designs. You can also change the logos in the email here, and also you can here change in the text section email footer. So that's default footer that is in all the emails. So perhaps if you want to have here company information or some link or some disclaimer or something, you can add it to the footer. And then a couple of settings related to the communication is available here in the agency settings, where, as I was mentioning in the beginning, down here in the section system emails, you can change how you appear as a sender and where goes the replies. When staff member receive an email, click on reply. This is the email that will get filled automatically. And also here you can adjust notifications that is related to the automatic notifications before the shift starts. There's also a nice notification that staff members can be notified by push notifications or SMS, depending what you're using. They can be notified certain amount of hours before the shift starts, so they kind of don't forget that they have work to do. And for that, it's a dedicated section here in the staff, and there is also respective line in the notification settings that's called attendance reminder. So these are the main notifications and settings related to the communication topic I wanted to mention. Maybe as an end, I can add what is new or what we want to implement in the future in this area. So as I was mentioning, we will work on adding the placeholders to the templates. That should be in some point. Then also we are adding the push notifications to the emails that don't have at the moment push notifications alternative. So we are adding this over the time. So if you feel that you are really missing some of the push notification, you can let us know. Then also we have in plan for the future at some point some more reminders. For example, for not yet signed contracts. That's also a topic we were discussing also with you. So that's at some point in the future as well. And one of the big things we would like to have in the future is some kind of, because as I was mentioning, when you send the email or when some action happen and the notification is on the way, we would like to have some place where you can check what notifications are or what emails or what messages are about to be sent, with the ability to delete them before they are actually sent. So some like this, like channel for the communication that is almost done. So that's also in our plan for the future. And I think that was all I was wanted to mention. And let me check here if we have some questions in the Q&A, and I can see no. Of course, if you maybe think about these features I was showing to you, maybe you will think about the combinations you can use. You can always ask us further on our support email. And also, if you think that you would like to have some webinar or some session dedicated to some feature that you may be not sure about, or you would like to explore more, we are always happy to hear your feedback, so we can create the content that is helpful for you. Yes. So that was all from my planned presentation. I can see we don't have any questions. So thank you all for joining. As Marketa was mentioning in the beginning, there will be a recording published on YouTube and share with the newsletter, I believe. So you can check it later, and always we are available on support email. Thank you all and have a nice day.